Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made to help agents become top producers in their desired market anywhere across the country, and also help team leaders and brokers develop top producers on their teams anywhere in the country. We, of course, are powered on the local level by our Tampa Bay Real Producers franchise here in Tampa Bay, Florida, which is where we're sitting right now on the corner here of Kennedy and West Shore. It's a gorgeous day down here in Tampa in our studio. And as you know, locally, we feature the top 500 producing agents here in this local market of Tampa Bay, and put on a ton of events and all kinds of various programs for those producers. So one of them is our guest here today. We have Lou Savanetti. Lou is in the house. Lou is with Real Broker, LLC. And we have actually featured Lou before in the Tampa Bay Real Producers magazine. So if he looks familiar and you're familiar with our platform, you might have seen him there. But it's definitely a pleasure to have you here in studio and dig in a little bit to your story. Good to have you, Lou.
Thank you. Glad we finally got to make it happen.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Absolutely. We've been on your case for a while, haven't we?
Yes.
So we'll start with your background for people who haven't yet checked out the story, the magazine, and all that fun stuff. So tell us, did you grow up in Tampa? If not, how'd you get here? And how'd you get interested in real estate?
I was born in Long Island.
Cool.
Got out just in time before the accent stuck. So we moved here when I was 7.
Okay.
So now I'm here a little over 30 years. I consider myself from Tampa.
All right.
I don't fully...
Yeah, you grew up here most of your life.
Yeah. I don't fully claim New York unless it benefits me.
Even though a name like Lou Savanetti sounds New York.
Yeah. So I grew up in more of the North Tampa area, Lutz. Went to University of Florida. After that, moved to South Tampa. Been here since 2012.
Cool.
Right out of college, my buddy, who's now my partner, he was in real estate, and he told me to come give it a shot. And I was early 20s, and I had my big boy degree, and I was like, no, man, I got to get a...
What was your degree in?
Marketing.
Okay.
And it led me to like an IT consulting and like staffing position. Had to wear a suit and shave every day. It didn't last long. They sat me in front of a desk looking at resumes. So after like 6 months, he's like, you ready? And so I got into real estate then.
Pretty young, man. Pretty early. Right out of school. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things I still look like, man, wish I would have done it earlier.
Yeah.
Wish I would have done it earlier.
Yeah.
Even, could have had my license in college. But yeah, so I've been a full-time realtor since 2013.
Okay.
And loved every minute of it.
So when you got that license that in those early years, obviously you said you grew up in this area. Is that how things started, from the beginning? Were you just tapping into your warm network and starting to get started that way? Or how did you get off the ground? So
actually, I really didn't touch my sphere until later in my career. My buddy ran a company, or he was running a company at the time. It was the Duncan duo.
Sure. Andrew?
Yes, Andrew.
I was just talking to him today.
Yeah, Andrew.
Shout out to you, Mr. Duncan, out there. Yes.
And so he told me to come, work with them. And at that time, we were small, probably under 10 agents. And I came on, and the training aspect was you start off only as a buyer agent. I do feel you need to have experience to work with sellers. And then they trained me. And then, one of the best part about a team in my experience is they lead gen for you. I definitely think the hardest part about our game and the real estate business is
self-generating,
is just finding the business.
Yeah.
You could be the best salesman in the world, but if you got no one to sell to, so that allowed me to really hit the ground running. I didn't have that, that downside. And they were, like you said, one of the top Remaxes in the country.
Very much so, yeah.
So
they've had a great reputation for many years, yeah.
Yeah, so and again, loved it and just stuck with it since then. I was with them for about 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
And then I just gotten married. We wanted to have kids, and just wanted to change it up a little bit. So went off on my own, and enjoyed that too. I was with Keller Williams Tampa Central, who was phenomenal over there.
Not with the team though.
Not with the team.
So you were independent at that time?
I started the Savinetti team.
Okay.
And I had like a buddy hang his license with me who wasn't full-time. I got a transaction coordinator. And then I really dove into my sphere, which it was a part of the business that I really fell in love with, working with people who I know and they trust, and I get to, helped them out buying and selling their home.
And you were self-generating your own leads at that point.
Yeah.
Since you weren't partnered up with a team, you weren't getting leads provided as much anymore.
Right out of the gate, I was like, okay, like, can I self-generate?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a big enough sphere? And so I think I did what a lot of people do is, you pay the big websites,
Mm-hmm.
to see if they can help you do it. That was not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Felt my time and money were spent better elsewhere.
Yep.
And that really, like I said, working with my sphere then really got me into more of the high-end market, just naturally over the next few years. Sold friends their first house, then they started doing better, and the price point, met the right people.
Makes sense. Do you recommend, Lou, for agents who are newer, finding a team like that? Is that a great way to kind of get into the business and make things happen faster?
100%. It can be lonely out there. And what's crazy is the first day you're a licensed realtor, you could go represent $1 million seller or $1 million buyer,
right?
Which is kind of, right. So just having someone to bounce ideas off of, ask questions to, because when you go into these, if you're an individual agent, you sign up at an office, everyone's got their head down.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing. I'm sure there's people who will help you or mentor you so much, but you want that full-time help to really be dangerous.
Yep.
So the team aspect, a good team, is really the way to go. The things you look for: training and lead generation.
Yep.
Because again, you could have the best leads in the world, but if you don't know how to close them, what good is it?
Right.
For me, one of the best trainings I think I ever did was calling on like expireds. Those people are angry. They're early on,
they just feel like they've been misled,
and so as soon as they get, taken off the MLS, they're probably getting 20 to 30 calls a day.
Right.
So if you're not one of the first, you're speaking with a very overwhelmed seller.
Right.
And if you can get that through that phone call and get to their dining room table, you can handle any listing appointment.
Yeah, makes
if
sense.
You can get through that.
Yep.
So yeah, and then again, like for me, I'm such a camaraderie guy. I forgot how much I missed just walking in the office, talking to people, being more productive that way. I was a marketing major in college, and that was all campaigning in groups and doing stuff like that. Like, I know, I'm not the smartest guy in the room everywhere I go, or most rooms. So I like to be able to, I have my strengths and I know them. And I like to surround myself with people who have different strengths.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing you talk about, I'm curious with your marketing background, have you found that, not necessarily anything you learned in a classroom generally, but with that major, has that portrayed itself at all in your experience in real estate and how to utilize some of those skill sets?
It definitely has. I would say it's more like I also like flip and build a little bit. I do feel I have good taste. My flips move. I get good feedback. So I feel that aspect of marketing when I go into a listing appointment. And, you can't tell somebody that like, man, this house would sell really fast if none of your stuff was in it. So being able to help them declutter, depersonalize, stage existing furniture that they have. So from that marketing aspect, absolutely. And I guess I know like with the general public likes a little bit more for advertising and things like that.
Well, I know even coming from your initial background there with the Duncan team, Andrew's a marketing guy.
He's the marketing guy.
He's passionate about that for sure. We've had him on this show. And we've talked about marketing, I think, the whole time when we were on here.
Whether it's on TV, on a billboard, his own radio show. No, he's
very creative with different things.
Correct.
He loves it. And so it's interesting to see that you have some of that similar background and seem to have that some interest there with the marketing piece as well. Yeah,
it's nice because they tell you, I felt like they told us a little bit too late when we were in school. Like it's more about like the analytics, like who's the marketing to versus everyone thought like, oh, I want to make Super Bowl commercials.
Right.
You know, I want to be in advertising. Nope.
Yeah, we preach here the concept of understanding your USP, right?
Yeah,
What's that unique selling proposition?
Yes.
Exactly how is that being communicated and who is it being communicated to?
Yes.
You want to position yourself in that way, and it starts with understanding exactly what that means, right?
Correct.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm curious that time, so you started again with Andrew. Do you remember what that first year was like in terms of your numbers and what that first 12 months felt like for you? Was it off to a fast start right away because of the team affiliation
so
you had?
it was a great start in the fact that I remember I put a deal under contract quickly and it legit fell apart at the table. You know, like
good experience.
You know, and that was really eye-opening. To not stop. And early on, we used to have to do kind of like mandatory team reading. And it was one of the books was called like 3 Feet from Gold. And I feel like that is like such a big issue in real estate. Like so many people either give up or they're so close. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was a little discouraged, you know, and it took me probably another month or two to get my first deal. But again, they're very focused. Andrew, I don't know if he still does it this way, but when I came on, they were like, have 6 months of saving.
Yeah.
Because we are going to train you before you really, you know, we're not going to just throw you in the deep end.
Yeah.
So early on, you do a lot of training, a lot of prospecting. I was going on appointments with other agents because I didn't want to miss out on leads, and Andrew didn't want a new agent burning leads. Yeah. So burning leads. So slow for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I focused on for probably like the next year and a half, only buyers, which I enjoyed. And then I'd say I really like kind of took off once I got into the listing side.
Got it.
That's where I felt I excelled. I loved being at the dining room table. And I still do that. I still represent both sides. But yeah, the listing side is really where I feel like I took off. I was doing probably about, because they're like, they had a lot of, you know, leads coming in, you know, probably my best year, I was doing like 50 or 60 a year closings.
I was going to ask, is there a particular year that stands out to you that you felt like there was a spike and you really felt like, you know what, I'm pretty good at this now. Like I get it.
It was probably like my second or third year on the listing side. I remember, you know, I used to have much more hair, and I didn't rock a beard. And so
the short look is in now,
man.
Man.
Yeah. So this was probably it was like my late 20s, and I was meeting with people who had kids my age or older than me. And I was like, okay, I need to convince them that I'm the agent for them. So I wore a full suit and tie on every appointment. I was distracting from my age.
Yeah.
And it worked in that aspect. And then I'd say my best year, I think I just turned 30, and I say it was my best year because my most proud award, I was named National Association of Realtors 30 under 30.
Nice.
And that has been still to this day an amazing experience, and you know, just family that I was welcomed into. But yeah, it was probably 2 or 3 years into the listing side.
Very cool.
That did it for me.
So that at some point, and you've obviously had a successful career as you know, on the solo side when you went that route. I think we talked about, we didn't probably mention it, but did over about 30 million in volume this past year. Yeah,
right around there.
As personal production plus the team component. So at some point you mentioned, I guess it was when you hooked up with a KW, you started to build your own team, the Savinetti group. And I know you have a team today with Real.
Yes. Three Avenues group.
Talk a little bit about that evolution of like going down the team road. Did that just happen out of, you know, out of a need because you had so much business and you needed to figure out how to leverage things?
No, it was so one of my best friends, Robert Johnson, who was CEO of the Duncan Duo for a long time, went off, started his own thing late last year. And he was, you know, kind of knocking on my door like, hey, why don't you, you know, come join. And then my pride was like, you know, dude, hey, I was like, I'll come over with, my name on the door. I didn't want to work for anybody. I wasn't working for anybody for the last 5 years. Didn't want to do it again. So, and they had Three Avenues Groups comes from my partners, Robert, Taryn, and Joseph.
Okay.
They started the company, and then they brought me on about 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
And it's been fantastic. Robert's like, okay, like we also have plans because, we like to spend time in North Carolina. One of the big kickers is we're going to open up another office in North Carolina one day.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't realize how much I missed the team atmosphere until I started the conversation with them. And I went in the office and I saw old colleagues and things like that. And I went home to my wife and I was like, I need this.
I know that sometimes with an organization like Real or some of the brands out there that are kind of known for being having like the recruiting downline options plus the virtual option, you tend to have organizations that are not like limited to certain geographic areas or boundaries. But with your particular team, is it pretty Tampa based at this point, or are agents all over the place?
So we are, I would say, like mainly Tampa based. We now have a Sarasota agent, but we also cover like Polk County now.
Okay.
Where we have yet to find a place that's too far.
I think you said you have 8 agents locally on the team.
Yeah, not including the owners. Yeah, we're about 8 agents. We're really focusing on growth for next year. Like I said, we're that team aspect where we will come in. We want you to be fully trained, whether you are a brand new agent or even an existing agent looking for something new. Like I said, I learn something new every day in this. No one knows it all. So like it's
a good attitude to have.
Yeah, it's fun getting these. I think what made me a great agent was things like scripting, and we'd had to be in office scripting, and it was rough and awkward. But I think that's what made the handful of us who were there great.
Yeah.
And so now we're bringing that back. We're doing it with new agents. We're doing it with experienced agents, and that's always fun. Getting them to do that again. It's like, you're here for a reason. Let's, you want to grow your business.
Totally.
And that's who I'd say probably finds attraction to a team later in their career. They've kind of like, they've hit the same numbers the past few years and they want something else.
Yep.
So
I had a mentor years ago who kind of ingrained in my brain the concept that, an amateur practices until they get it right, but a professional practices until they can't get it wrong. Right?
Yeah.
So that's really the power in scripting it's that repetition that allows you to constantly run it through your brain with that practice, hopefully utilizing your team members as a way to all improve and sharpen each other's axe, so to speak, so that when those moments are happening live in front of the clients, nothing really throws you off whack, right?
Correct.
You're ready for any of it. So I do think that's an important practice.
And I think it's important to keep that going, because I have seen it where team leaders, they're having amazing growth, but they're not at the dining room table anymore. I don't ever want that to happen. Even if it's, again, like our team grows and I'm not directly selling as much, I would still at minimum like to be once a month going on a listing appointment or working with a buyer, so I don't forget what it's like.
No doubt.
The business of it, the emotions of it, because I have seen that happen.
No doubt. Things change, and the ability to stay in the field definitely keeps you sharp as well.
Well, because you go from the mindset of a realtor to a business owner.
Right.
And like I said, our partnership
sometimes the business needs that.
Yes.
But you're right.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of power in that leader still being able to dig into with their teammates and go to battle with their people, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, and I feel as long as I keep those tools sharp, I'll be able to train, because I also realize how much I enjoy training.
Yep.
And I want to continue to do that. And I feel, if I'm going to train people, I should stay, active in
somewhat
what
relevant.
I'm teaching them how to do.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you did $29 million last year, so you must be doing something on the personal production side.
I had some of.
Hey guys, just want to take a quick second here during this episode to explain that if you're somebody who would love to work with the top 500 producing agents in Tampa Bay, just like the one that you see right now during this actual interview, all you'd have to do to learn more about that is go to apply, APPLY, TampaBayRealProducers.com, and you'll see an application there to actually apply to become a preferred partner for the top 500 producing agents here in the Tampa Bay market. We work with some of the best lenders, title companies, home inspectors, different industries, 25 different industries represented right now. You can actually see the full list of them at tampabayrealproducers.com. Click on partners at the top, and you will see all of our existing partners in this particular franchise here locally. So if that interests you and you would love to work more closely with these top producing agents, you can find that application actually right on our website at tampabayrealproducers.com. But if you want to go directly to the application, just put the words apply, APPLY, and then Tampa Bay Real Producers. We'll put that link as well in the description. Let's go ahead and get back to the episode.
We really do preach like family served. I have had a mobile home for 125, and then my biggest closing, it was a $7 million listing.
Yeah, I love that.
And I am just
I love the family served focus. That's always how I would teach my people too, to set goals. Is how many families do you want to help next year?
And that it is fun. Trust me, the $7 million listings are really fun.
Sure.
And everyone loves that paycheck.
Yeah.
But what I have learned is, regardless of price point, they may know somebody. If you do a great job for them, getting to help people. Like I said, I have just as much excitement for when I get a family in a new home at 300,000 as I do 3 million.
Totally.
Because that's still that family. And sometimes it means more to the, that price point on the lower end of it,
Since your experience, Lou, is pretty all-encompassing at this point with a lot of the individual agent experience, you've been on the buyer side, obviously on the seller side. You also now have the experience of doing it sounds like you've experienced some recruiting, right?
Yes.
Worked on that angle. You've done some training on the team side. Do you have a personal, I'm assuming that you like all of them for different reasons, but is that harder for you to balance like all these different roles and components? Is there something that tugs still at you as your core, as this is still my bread and butter and I love this the most?
Yeah. The listing side of it, like going on the listing appointment is still my favorite, because that is something that's funny that you bring that up. I just interviewed for, I don't feel an assistant is like the appropriate term. Like I'm looking for like a right hand, someone who can help me with the things that like I'm through and through a sales guy. Paperwork, not my forte. I see like transaction coordinators out there. No matter if you learn anything from me today, like invest in a transaction coordinator, no matter how big you are, because
we have some great ones in our community, by the way.
Yeah,
you can check
absolutely. And it allows you to focus on what you're good at. I'm good at the sales, at the selling, not the putting properties on the MLS, doing stuff like that. So I'm trying to find, like a right hand who can help me with showings as well as preparing for listing docs. So I can put more attention, still being a realtor. Recruiting is my number one goal for this, like my main focus of what I really want to step up this year. Bring people to either our team or real brokerage in general, because we're having such a great experience with it.
Would your recruiting efforts, tied to that question, be focused locally, or because of Real's network, it could literally be anywhere, right?
Absolutely not. So
national doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, so absolutely nationally for the Real brand. I think there's awesome sense of community, very tech-based. I would almost describe it as like they're a tech company that sells real estate. I'd said that to you earlier. And then locally, having people, like we want our team to grow with agents. But even if it's not, like if they don't want to change it up, like if I'm talking to another successful team and they're looking to change things up, definitely want to tell them about Real and get them over there.
And I've seen that there are times where a whole team will just flip over, right? Just based on the opportunities, the tech additions or whatever, the extra support, right? That's available there.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
So this is an exciting time then, because I'm assuming you're still going into this new year with some personal production goals that you'd have for 2026.
Yes, more than ever now.
You're trying to make this your best year ever going into 2026?
Yes, I'm trying to do that every single year.
What is your best year? Was it this most recent, 29?
Yeah, I have, I found myself, I have exceeded my past year every year in real estate.
Very cool.
Which I was, awesome. I was very proud of that.
What's cool about that too is it's showing that your business is not so tied to like market conditions and things that are happening outside of your control.
Yeah.
Like it's based on what you're truly doing and the systems that you keep adding and building. So that's a great testament to that.
very proud of this year because with the hurricanes at the end of last year, my family was personally affected by it. And then so was our business. So I had all this money going out and very little coming in. It was a scary time. And to just kind of like be able to get through that, keep my foot on the gas, and finish super strong. Like I think I ended up doing more in Q4 than I have in 1, 2, and 3 combined.
Cool.
It was just like a super strong end of the year, which is exciting from a personal standpoint, but also from a market standpoint.
Yeah.
You know, like I do see things are turning around a little bit. You know, buyers are coming back, sellers are learning more about the market, being more realistic. Interest rates are, you know, trickling down little by little. So I am very excited for the 2026 market.
What's your favorite way to lead gen now?
Still my sphere.
Is it
for me?
Yep.
You know, whether it's, I like to combine work and play. So for me, and I'm a big golfer. I don't ever say I'm a good golfer. That's a broad term, but I'm a big golfer. So anytime I can be out on the course or just got into Palmacia after a 5-year waiting list.
Nice.
And I have...
That opens some doors.
Yeah, like I don't think I've convinced my wife that this was for work, but I'm going to stick to that.
You'll bring in some deals and she'll understand.
Correct.
Soon.
You know, like especially for me. So I will go anywhere for a home, but I am based out of South Tampa for my personal life. Our home's here. So I am focused on South Tampa.
Yep.
And for me, I was like, okay, like I want to be where my clientele is. So we're members at Stovall.
No doubt.
We just got into Palmacia. So that is, and I don't want to say my sphere business is the easiest. And what I mean by that is I think when most people are interviewing realtors, when you ask what's the number one thing you're looking for is trust. You want to trust the person you are having sell your largest asset you'll ever own, except for the few who own jets, you know? So the sphere business for me, when I go to those living rooms and dining room tables, that wall is down. They're like, okay, like we know Louis or we trust the person who knows Louis. That allows me, and sphere is free.
Yeah. And that's also why it's so important, like we talked about earlier, to understand your USP, because many people that is their sphere based on their geography, their neighborhood, their club, whatever it is that they're already of living out life in. If they are living that business out loud, that becomes their unique selling proposition because the trust is being built. Their authority is being established, you know, at the same time. And it makes sense to lean into that. It doesn't mean you can't find other ways to throw fuel on the fire.
Absolutely not.
That really is the core.
And I would say for me, I really learned about what sphere business is when I went off on my own, because, you know, I feel like most people will be like, okay, like I just sold John Smith a house last week. I want to call him up and see how things are going, check in. But even though he is still a huge, huge referral source, because you just sold him a house, but maybe his mom needs to sell.
Totally.
Or like every single person in your phone is a potential sphere of business. You have to look outside of like, do they need to buy or sell a home today? No. They may know somebody.
Well, especially in real estate too, because it is a product and service that literally everybody's going to use at some point in their life.
That's one of my,
have something over their head.
I do love that part of real estate is everybody knows about it. A lot. I mean, look at HGTV alone. Like that's how much people like it. There's countless shows and people like, I talk to friends.
Sometimes for the good or the bad. But
I'll laugh.
There's no lack of awareness.
Yeah. I'll have friends who are not in the market at all be like, hey, did you see that house that just listed? I'm like, yeah, why did you? You know, just because people like real estate.
Yeah, for sure.
And so because of that, you want to, or it allows me to talk about it all the time. Like I don't have a lot to talk about with, you know, people who are accountants or just interesting jobs, you know, that everybody wants to talk to me about real estate. And a lot of people are like, hey, sorry to, you know, like, I know this is what you do. No, I love talking about, like, I want them to know what I do. I tell them, don't be a secret agent.
Well, everybody's a wannabe realtor, aren't they?
They really are. I love when people tell me how to do my job or how to price their home or how to do this. So it is fun in that aspect. It's a blessing and a curse. You know, people have so much experience and knowledge with real estate.
The curse is that everybody thinks they can do it, right?
Yeah.
Versus the appreciation of what really goes into it.
Yeah. But that's a great feeling when they finally were like, okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Here are the reins. You were right.
I get it now. Let's switch gears a little bit to some personal side for people to get to know you a little bit more if they haven't had a chance to do so yet. So again, we had a little spotlight on Lou in our feature that you can check out. But you have 2 young kids, married,
I have
2 children,
married with 2 little girls, 2 and 4.
Beautiful.
Who are
you got your hands full there
a lot. They're a lot. They're little loud Italians like me.
God bless them.
And my poor wife, all she wanted was a little girl who colored quietly like her, and she did not get that.
What do you guys love to do for fun when you're just hanging out, not jamming in real estate?
We anything. We like to be outside, and I have little Disney princesses, and we have past. So we do the parks, a good amount. Mm-hmm. We're very blessed to be have family local. So my wife's one of 3. And so as of right now, there's 6 grandkids. So they're all best friends.
Nice.
We're all super close.
That is cool.
So we do a lot of family stuff together, which is great.
Very cool.
We're all within a golf cart right away.
Nice. No, that's awesome for kids to grow up too with having that much family around.
Yeah, I did that. I grew up with, I had 2 cousins who were like siblings. And even though we live in different states now, we're still, like I said, very close to. So for them to have that is exciting.
That's neat.
And then hopefully with if we have another good year, we'll be adding to the family.
Here we go.
We're
making progress here.
Yeah.
3 is the next number. I mean, I told you off camera, we have 6 at our house, so you got some work to do, my brother.
Which makes me feel silly. My wife had book club last night.
You're complaining about 2. No.
Yeah, my wife had book club last night, and she came home. She's like, "How was it?" And I was just like, "How was it?" I was like, "They were in bed by 7:15 because I was going to lose it." And now I hear like, what a joke. I was like, you've got 6.
Well, 2 and 4 is no joke. Talking. Those are young ages that, there's a lot going on there for sure.
Well, everyone tells me after 3, it's like,
you're out, man.
You might as well have 4 because now they have someone to play with.
It's just utter chaos. No matter. Yeah. There's no difference between 4 and 8.
Well, what is your family car? I would love to know this.
We pack up the Honda Odyssey.
Okay.
Yes. That Odyssey has got no room whatsoever anymore. If we ever had one more, I don't know what we would do next. We'd have to pop up to one of those like custom white vans that you see riding around. Yeah. But for right now, we just pack them all on the Odyssey, Brand. That's what we do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Off camera, you mentioned earlier, or even on camera, you mentioned your passion for golf, and you were talking about how you have this cooler idea, right? I wanted to throw it out there too.
So
so you're good enough in golf that you play enough to realize that there was a problem that you had to fix, which was the need for more.
Well, I'll say I play enough where I have a lot of fun when I play golf. But
so you're an entrepreneur at heart, and you created this idea of, what was it? Like a not random, but like a neat little cooler idea. Talk about it.
Yeah. So the idea came from, my buddy and I started a custom golf glove company. That's where it all really started. So how can we get around golf more, maybe make some money and not get in trouble with our wives? And then being around golf more, I realized, I was like, man, like either the coolers that are built in are way too small. Mm-hmm. They fit like 4 bottles of water. Or if you had to throw the cooler in the basket behind you, that was annoying. And they always got things soaked. So I had this idea for almost like a saddlebag looking cooler. And my buddies always...
Can you wear it?
No. It's more, like I said, like a saddle for like on the side of a horse.
I gotcha.
A saddle pouch. And then I was like, my buddies always left it unzipped. So I had it to where... in the back, it has several versatile clips. So, I could clip it to like the handle of the steering wheel, so it's not out of the way. I could drive the golf cart and get, a liquid out.
You created the design?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
is there a website that already has this somewhere?
Not yet. We're still in production. Q1's going to be our launch. And it has a magnetic closing, so I don't have to worry about my buddies keeping it cool.
Nice.
And the guy our manufacturer specializes in golf cart accessories. And he randomly, and this is an idea I've had for 4 or 5 years. He was like, you guys want to talk about anything else? And I was like, I don't know why, I just felt that day. He's blurted out. And he was so excited about it.
Nice.
And so him and I partnered up. And the great part is now, it was originally for coolers, but now we're testing it. It's awesome in tree stands, on boats, on strollers, ATVs. It's called caddy cooler, but the caddy means just, more for like the assistance part. Mm-hmm. So it can every week I'm learning new things I can use
seeing
it
it.
on. Yeah.
I'm assuming you have you have one, that you've used.
Yeah. Oh
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I built the prototype out of my daughter's like stroller bag.
Okay.
My wife loved that. Just cut it up. And so now we have like it was cool seeing an idea like that from scratch come to life. And so it's getting very, very exciting.
Yeah, man, that's exciting, no doubt. Hopefully things take off. It might be a good closing gift too for realtors, right?
I was about to say, if you work with the 3 Avenues group, one of our closing gifts may be a pretty sweet cooler.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and even clients that love golf or just moms with strollers. I mean, there's a lot of different
like
audiences.
I was thinking, because I've hunted before. I would never call myself a hunter, but up in a tree stand, you are limited space. You could kick things out, and I've sat in tree stands for hours, and I was like, man, if this is just clip on to here, out of the way. So yeah, it's very versatile.
So when the website's ready, you'll have to send it our way so that we can tag it under this episode and get that description out there.
I think we'll donate one to the podcast.
I like that
so
even more.
You can try it out. See
Keep
how
my
well
golf game sharp out there.
See how well it handles 6 kids, because I'm sure you guys.
Yeah, we'll beat it up pretty quick.
I'm sure they get there. Yeah, there you go. You'll be my test run.
We'll be the guinea pigs for sure. All right, couple rapid fire things here, Lou, as we put a bow on our episode. Do you have a favorite book or author or seminar that you've ever attended that you feel like has made an impact on you personally or professionally?
So yeah, if we're gonna kind of sum it up into one, the 5 love languages.
Oh, great.
5 languages of love. I first read that.
Book.
I first read it when I got into real estate, and we did it as a team to kind of know. And it's all about communication.
Yeah.
How do you want to communicate? And it has been an amazing thing in my personal life too. I am physical touch. I want to be hugged and high-fived. And for
make sure Rob gives you a big hug.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And he's not a hugger. So it was important for him to remember and to know that I want physical touch. Tell me I did a good job. And my wife,
probably one of the best books I've ever read too, in terms of my relationship with my wife, and even your kids. Like your kids, each one of them has different love languages.
I made my wife
start to recognize it.
And even like I was saying, make your spouse read it. They have like the test at the end that lets you know my wife is quality time.
Yeah.
For me, because what the people make the mistake of, like, my love language is quality. So I'm gonna hold her hand, I'm gonna hug her, I'm gonna kiss her, and tell her I love her so much. And she wants more like me to, like, date nights.
Right.
Get rid of my phone, be present in the moment. That's how I tell her I love her.
Totally.
Versus hugging her.
Yeah.
She needs to hug me more, even though I constantly remind her, I want to cuddle. I want to hold hands.
I got you.
And she's
I
more
want
like,
more kids. I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
I get it. I get
yeah,
it.
so that
is a great book, though.
That would be my overall recommendation.
I think you're the first person to bring that out on this show, too.
Yeah.
So
and
good
it's
stuff.
great we learned this from a business standpoint on a team aspect, the way to handle my clients or even my teammates, like
agents, fellow agents.
Yeah, fellow agents. Not everybody wants recognition,
right?
Or public recognition. Posting on Facebook, they may not want that. They may want a personal thing, I think it's for professional purposes and personal. That would be my recommendation.
Favorite TV show or movie?
Ooh, all-time TV show. I could just watch it over and over, and we do The Office.
Okay, classic.
It is just.
So you're a comedy guy.
Yeah, okay. I am such a comedy guy. Like, I watch news if I have to. Like, it's just depressing. It bums me out. Like, I'm a big stand-up comedy in the background.
No doubt.
I don't like
stuff that makes you feel good.
Yeah, I don't like silence, so I always have the TV on or music. But yeah, it's the amount of times The Office has been.
It's a classic. You can't watch that show without just crying from laughter at some point.
Correct.
No doubt. It's no doubt. It's great. All right. We're going to put a bow on the episode with 2 things. So we talked a lot of different topics today, from your experience with working with a team when you were a newer agent, to transitioning to an independent, to building a team, to now working with Real and working on all these different components. Talked a little bit about marketing as well. If someone wanted to pick your brain about any of these topics, Real or anything else, what's the best way for someone to reach you?
By call, text, or email. So phone number 813-992-5919. And my email is lou@3avsgroup.com. And that's the number 3.
Cool. Yeah, we'll throw that stuff in the description as
Yeah,
well
please.
for you
And
guys to
like
be
I
able
said,
to follow out.
I'd absolutely love to talk to anybody about, whether it's joining Real, joining our team, or just I am only where I am today from the help I had. So and I would love to make another, real estate friend. I do so many deals now with agents that I know. I get so many deals done from the relationships I built amongst quote unquote competitors.
Yep,
and
no doubt.
we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
that's the spirit of what we do too. It's all about collaboration.
Yeah, and I would say I loved that about that's what really drew me to you guys was because you're like officially like, okay, it's just other realtors, like why would I want to go do that? I'm there. No, it is getting
because
to know
of what
people.
You just said, the amount of times you have a deal where you're working with another agent on the other side of that deal, how many times does that fall apart because the two agents don't communicate well?
100%.
So, totally. That's a big part of what we try to help influence. And
yeah,
I think
so please reach out. Love to make a new friend or help a fellow.
That's why we have our events too. So every time you're invited and be able to make it.
Those are very fun.
Yeah, it'll give you an opportunity to connect with more agents too. All right, our last question is what I call the legacy question. So as we wrap up here, when you think, hopefully many years from now, Lou, when your daughters are grown and you have your, 25 kids gaggling around and you're sitting on the rocking chair and thinking about what you would want to be most remembered for, right? What you'd want your legacy to be. Any thoughts come to mind that would be the most important for you?
The immediate one is there's no daddy issues. I was a present father. I was there, and that's that finding that I want to sit back and be able to say I had a great work-life balance.
That's cool.
And I know that at times that's hard. But in the end, being there for it's how do I work enough, make enough money for the lifestyle that I want, but then also have time for it.
Yep.
Because nothing kills my 4-year-old. She'd be like, "You're working again," kind of thing, and you're like, "All right, okay."
It tugs. There's always those moments. Even I work a lot from home in my business, and when my 2-year-old runs into the room and says, "Daddy, pick me up." No matter what you're in the middle of, at times it's that feeling of, okay, this is important. I have to make sure I'm prioritizing that time. So I can relate to that entirely.
So that's for me, the no family regrets is what I want to be on that rocking chair. Cause I do feel, like I said, I work to live, to do I love what I do. I feel I'm very blessed to be able to do that. And in a business where I decide how much I want to make. But yeah, the family first aspect of it.
I love it. Lou Savanetti the fourth. He was in the house today, so we'll have to have you back sometime
I would love
as well.
to. Thank you for having me. Glad we finally got to do
without
this.
a doubt. And we're going to end the episode the way we always do, which is a challenge to the audience. So whether you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook, or you're listening in on any of the 15 plus podcast platforms that we're on, Apple, Spotify, you name it, what is one action step that you can take from this episode today that'll help propel you forward personally or professionally? Maybe it's picking up the 5 Love Languages book that Lou threw out there. Maybe it's maybe you're a newer agent and you're not exactly getting the traction that you want, and you heard Lou's story about the success he had in working with a team. Maybe that's something you need to look into and talk to some great team leaders. Reach out to us. We have a great network of very successful team leaders and brokers that we can make an introduction to. Maybe you're somebody who wants to go independent like Lou did, or somebody who wants to build a team like Lou is doing right now. There's a lot of things that we touched on today: marketing, the importance of your sphere, other ways to be able to market. But just pick one. Find one thing so that the time that you invested in this, listening to this podcast, is going to be fruitful in terms of action. And if you don't take action, then you tend to miss out on the benefits of being able to listen to a show like this. So we will see you, of course, and you can follow us at topproducersnation.com. where you can see our online community. You can see our online trainings and courses that we have to help you as an agent grow in this business. And if you're a team leader or broker, we look forward to connecting with you more through our discovery call process to see if we can help you with our workshops and different components that we have to help you create more top producers in your organization moving forward into 2026. We will see you on the next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. See you later.